So now let's talk about a particular implementation of the list ADT, which is linked list. Okay, so even within linked list there could be various types. So before we go there, let's talk about how linked list would look like. So this is the memory of our computer. It would have addresses starting from 0, 1, 2, 3 up to, say, let's say we have, say, 1,000,000,000 bytes. Okay, and each of the address corresponds to a particular byte, which would have 8 bits and so on. So when we say that we are going to have the linked representation of the list, what is going to happen is that I have a list, okay, and then within its data I'm going to have a data element, and this each data element would correspond to a certain block of my memory. So if I draw a list which is, say, a data element D1, then there is D2, and then there is D3. Okay, let's say this is my list, and this is my first element, second element, and third element. So I might have data element D1 somewhere here in the memory, then my D2 might be somewhere here in the memory, and my D3 could be somewhere here in the memory. Okay, they could be at any particular block in the memory which is given to me by the operating system, and then I will have the starting address for each of the blocks. So let's say this is address 2, this is, say, 170, and say this is 2009. Okay, so this is the starting address for these blocks. So what is going to happen is that each data element will be identified based on its starting address, and then inside it might have various other values. Okay, so data element could be complex thing. Sometimes it could be a simple thing as an integer, or sometimes it could be a complex object with multiple attributes. And links that we are talking about, they would be also part of the data element. So links would be stored inside it. Okay, so that's how my list is represented in digital computer. And the nice thing about this representation of the list is that I can go and add elements as and when I want, and I can delete the elements as and when I want. So if this is a list with 3 elements, and now let's say you want 2 more elements, you can go and request for 2 blocks from your memory, and you can add, say, D4 and D5. Okay. Then your list becomes D4 and D5. And then there is no next element. Let's indicate that as well. So depending on how many links you keep track of, you might have a singly linked list, or you might have a doubly linked list. Okay. So in case of singly linked list, what is going to happen is that you keep track of only one element. So it could be always the next element, or it could be always the previous element. So let's draw a list where we keep track of only the next element. So I have D1, and next element in the list is D2, and then next element is D3, and for D3 there is no next element, so in that case we'll say it is null, and we'll show it with this symbol. So this is my single linked list, and I'll show that this is the beginning of the list. Okay, so I'll call it, say, head of the list. And I might have a doubly linked list where I keep track of the previous as well as the next element of the list. So I have, say, D1, and then there is next, which is D2, but for D2 there is also previous element, which is D1, and for D2 there is next element, which is D3, and for D3 there is previous element, which is D2. For D3 there is no next element, so it is rounded, and for D1 there is no previous element. Okay, so it is rounded from the beginning. Okay, there is no previous element here, there is no next element here, and I can indicate that, say, this is my head, this is my beginning. So linked list is a particular way to implement your list ADT in digital computer. It gives you ability to add nodes and remove nodes with a flexibility. If you compare this against the contiguous memory implementation of arrays, if you remember that, So in arrays, whenever you created the array, it gave you a contiguous block. Okay, so currently I have created list of 3 elements. So if I create array with 3 elements, those 3 elements, they were one after the other. Okay? So in this list, let's say if I delete D2 and then I want to compress the list, it is far easier as compared to deleting an element from array. In that case, I have to shift and overwrite every other element. Here that is not required. All I need to do is change a few pointers and it can be achieved. Okay. So that's the flexibility given by the list as compared to the arrays with contiguous memory allocation, but each of them has their own advantages. In case of arrays, if I have to access element at a random position, that can be achieved in constant time because I know the base address of the array, and whichever index you provide to me, I can go and access that element in a constant amount of time. However, in case of the list, that is not possible. If you have to access any element of the list, you have to start from the beginning or from the end or whichever pointer is available to you, and you have to travel sequentially to that particular node. Okay, so access is slower in case of linked list. So both of them can be used to represent your sets, but both of them have different advantages. This is more flexible, this is a bit more rigid, but this is faster in terms of accessing random elements. This is slower in terms of accessing random elements. So depending on what is the requirement of your application, you will pick up the right representation for your list abstract data type. Okay. So after this, let's start to look at singly linked list.